Good afternoon, Miss Yuli.
How are you today?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. I hope we are fine today. And nice to see you on Zoom, yeah. Okay. Maybe today is the first time to join in this English session. So you must introduce yourself. How many participants right now?
Around 15, Miss Yuli. 15,000 people join this meeting, yeah?
Okay. Okay. Maybe you want to introduce, if you feel you are the first time, you can introduce yourself. This is just informal introduction. Informal introduction like you say, hi guys, my name is, I come from, I live in Sorong at blah, blah, blah street. And then you say, I want to join in this English session because like I want to increase my English, or I want to know about experience, or you can say I love study English. So you can
Start
say
with
like
Miss Yuli, yeah? Start with Miss Yuli.
that. Okay, I will give the example. Hi everyone, my name is Yuli Wamrau. Sometimes or people say me Miss Yuli, or you can call me Yuli. I live in Sorong at Rufai Star Street. I'm a teacher. I'm joined in this English session because I love to study English. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Yuli. Okay, now we want to hear from Reed also. Please,
Okay.
Reed.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, thank you, Kak Dayu, Miss Yuli. I am Reed. Feel free to call me Reed, Ola, whatever you want to call. I'm currently working in company, and also I established a reading corner in Sorong. And yeah, I joined this class just to get my English improve, to improve my English, because it's been a long time I did not speak with someone who also speak in English. I moved to Sorong in 2018, and yeah, my motivation to join this class is just to speak English, listening to each other, and yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ola.
It is simple introduction.
Yeah, it's a very simple introduction. If
Okay, you can choose one. Who? It's up to you. You want to choose one?
nanti campur-campur tidak apa-apa ya teman-teman ya. Pokoknya yang penting berani. Oke.
So I want Kak Ruth Ginting.
Ya, please.
Let me know who you are.
Okay, Ruth, please. But only one until 2 minutes ya. 1 minute lah ya. Singkat saja. Nanti Milando sama Edi kecapean nungguin.
Okay, thank you for the chance. Hello, Itwit. Thank you for choosing me. Okay, first I want to introduce myself. My name is Lutfi Celia Radianti Ginting. I'm a teacher from South Sorong, but actually I from Sumatra, not Sumatra, and I was on my way now. I'm in car, so I like to join this class because I like English. I want to improve my English, and I like to listen friend experience.
Yeah,
I think that's all.
thank you. And you want to meet Eddie and Milando, I know that.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. We have Dwi Fajar Suarjuli. This is the first time. Dwi, ayo Dwi. Bu Guru, ayo
Hello.
silakan.
Oh yeah. Hi. I don't know how many people in this chat room, but I'm Dwi. I am from Kaimana. And what else should I say?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dwi, for joining us. Yeah,
Maka-
Dwi
Thank
is
you.
from Kaimana. So we have Kaimana, Sorong Selatan. Okay, Kak Cindy, please. Oke, Kak Cindy atau Kak Yuli, please, Kak Yuli Konjol. Agak putus-putus ya. Ya, silakan salah satu boleh. Ya, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for listening. My name is Cindy. Yeah, just my name is. I work with a foundation, Mulia Bukit Tabor Foundation in Sorong, and join the sessions. Yes, I want to learn about English today. Thank you, Kadayu.
Thank you, Cindy. Oke. Maybe Hilda.
Yes, me. Hello, everyone.
Halo Hilda.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Hilda Patiani. I'm from Yayan Sorong, and I live at Tori Sorong. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilda. Okay, we have Sonia Simanjuntak. Please introduce yourself,
Yeah.
Sonia. Sonia or Sukma or Melissa, please.
Okay, thank you.
Short introduction, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sonia Simanjuntak. Actually, I'm from Sumatra, North Sumatra. I'm a bachelor degree from industrial engineering student. In here, I want to join this class because I want to get many experience, and I want to, and I get curious about Sorong and the surrounding area in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Maybe Kak Irma. After this, Kak Irma, please. Okay. You can unmute, yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Irma Ahmad. I live in Sorong. I come from India. I want to join this class because I took learning so much fun, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Irma. So we live in same city, yeah. I'm in Kilo 9, if you know Rawa Indah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Kak Deborah or Kak Melissa or Sukma or Kak Ida Wokas, please introduce yourself. Hello. Or Amawila or Nika, please.
Hello
Okay.
everyone.
Hello.
My name is Deborah. I'm from Semarang, Central Java. And this is my first time joining English session by Child 8 Papua. And I really want to hear the experiences you guys do there, and I want to improve my English. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, and maybe Kak Ida, yeah, please, Kak Ida.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon. My name is Saida Wokas, and you can call me Ida. I am now live in Fakfak, and sorry for my poor English because actually I wanna join this class because I want to improve my skill English and find friends from many places in Indonesia. So thank you.
Thank you, Kaida. We have friends from from Semarang, from Kaimana, from Fakfak, from Sorong, from many places, yeah, including from Jalan Victoria.
Wow, nice to see you all.
Yeah, and also from Raja Ampat. Okay, after this, if someone, some of you wants to introduce yourself, please. But if you don't want because of the time is ticking, we already have Mr. Jonas, Mr. Ganteng, yeah, and Mr. Handsome, and two handsome teenager, yeah. We have Eddie and Milando. Ini Milando dan Eddie saya ketemu ngobrol bahasa Inggris cas-cis-cus ya. But we'll see ya. They will present something. We want to hear from Kak Jonas first ya. Jonas, please. Unmute dulu. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
It works. It works good.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jonas, and I originally come from Switzerland, but I already since 5 years I live in Raja Ampat, where we have our own foundation, and we have now our own school. And Eddie and Milando are two of our high school students.
Okay, that's opening from Jonas, yeah. But before that, before we go to Eddie and Milando, I want to share, of pictures from Child at Papua, yeah. So every one of you can see what actually Child at Papua is. Okay, as you see this one, this is Child at Papua, yeah. A very beautiful place, yeah. If you like to swim, you can go to this place and swim. Yeah? This is their learning center. And this is Jonas, yeah, of course. This is Maya. Kak Maya cannot join us because she was sick, yeah. And this is the handsome guy, yeah. This is Eddie. Eddie ini jago sekali mengemudikan speedboat, ya. And this is Milando, and this is Kak Ugi, yeah. And this is Kak Jonas, ya. We can imagine how happy children there being taught by Kak Jonas, yeah. That's a short introduction to Child at Papua. Maybe Jonas will add more about Child at Papua, yeah. But before I start, this is the rundown. Maybe it's just informal meeting, but this is an opening introduction. Thank you very much for Miss Yuli. And after this, we will have guest speaker, maybe Eddie or Milando. After that, we will have a break, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And then after that, we will have intermezzo, a quiz of English. Then we will go to guest speaker. Then after that, we will have question and answer. You can ask everything to anyone, yeah? Okay. I think that we'll start with, I don't know, Jonas, please, maybe Eddie or Milando first. It's up to you.
Okay, so I think Tayu, you have to choose.
Okay, I think participant will choose ya. Ayo teman-teman mau pilih siapa? Jangan pilih Jonas ya. Okay, I think it's good with. Sorry, what?
The youngest one.
Okay, the youngest one.
Okay, so Milando.
Milando, okay, please Milando. This is Milando, yeah, the youngest one.
Hello, everyone. My name is Milando. I am 15 years old. I come from Raja Ampat, but I live in Sangrai and in learning center in Yayasan China, Papua. I want to tell you about my life in Raja Ampat. So a long time ago, when I was a little kid, I don't like school until I threw my shirt into the backside of cupboard. And I think the school is so boring. So, but because I fight my laziness, I can study I have a chance to study in good school in Yayasan Sayana, Papua. because I want to be a successful person. So in the future and in learning center, I can get many lessons that help me to achieve my dreams. The homework and many lessons in learning center is it's very important for my future. So in learning center, we always do practice in the field. So my hobby is join the Ocean Warrior trip to the island. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Milando. Yeah, it's a very short introduction from Milando. Before join Child Ed Papua, he didn't like goes to school. Yeah, he didn't like study at school. Yeah. Okay, teman-teman. Before we change into next speaker, I will show a short lesson about English using British Council sites. After that, we will go to Eddie, yeah? Then we will have a chit chat. And also you can ask Jonas everything what you want to know about Child Ed Papua. Let me show this one, yeah? Okay, teman-teman. I hope that every one of you can hear this before I start. In the first meeting, we learned about making making a question. Yeah. After this, we will learn about how to make a suggestions using online learning. Yeah. Suaranya kedengeran nggak ya? Sorry. Could you all hear the voice, the sound? Hello?
Yeah, it works. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Anna. Welcome to What to Say. Do you know what to say when you make suggestions? Listen out for useful language for making suggestions. Then we'll practice saying the new phrases after this.
Okay, this time let's focus. Phones off.
Yes, and in my bag.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We have half an hour.
Okay, let's go.
How about starting with social media?
Sure. Engagement is up 15% this month.
Good. So let's go for 20% for next month.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell the team. We'll need some extra help to make it work.
Agreed. Good idea. Why don't you ask Vanya to help you create a new social media plan?
Okay, no problem. Shall we present it at the next team meeting together?
Good plan. Can you let Paul see it first?
Sure, I'll do that.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
And that's half an hour. We did it.
We're really good at this.
Hello again. Wow, that was a good meeting. So, did you notice the useful phrases used for making suggestions? Listen to me and then repeat. Let's focus. Let's focus. How about starting with social media? How about starting with social media? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We'll need some extra help. We'll need some extra help. Agreed. Good idea. Agreed. Good idea. Why don't you ask Vanya? Why don't you ask Vanya? Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Shall we present it at the meeting? Shall we present it at the meeting? Good plan. Good plan. Try and use some of these phrases the next time you make suggestions in English. Bye for now.
Okay, bye for now. Oke, teman-teman, kita akan mengerjakan soalnya bersama. If you want to try that, I will, chat the link in the chat box. Yeah, we can try to use that together. But if you want to try it, try to answer the question. If some of you wants to try that, please. Apakah ada yang mau coba menjawab? Ini pertanyaan pertama ya. Ada? Boleh kalau ada, raise your hands or you just choose the best answer. Ada yang mau coba?
Is it B?
Okay, is it B? We try ya. Is it B ya? Okay. Oke, betul ya. Oke. Berarti Dwi tidak boleh lagi ya.
Oh ya,
Oke. Oke, number 2. Kalau ada yang mau coba, ini disusun bagaimana? How to arrange this sentence into a correct sentence? Some of you want to try that? Milando? Okay, Milando, please. Start with what?
How about?
How? Okay.
About?
Sorry ya. Iya, nak.
Bisa nggak teriak-teriak enggak?
Bisa nggak teriak-teriak? Oh, bisa. Sorry ya. Nah, ini anak saya. Anak saya lagi sambil how? About. Sorry. Okay. Starting. Okay. With. Okay. Social media. Good. Finish. Wih, oke.
Yay.
Betul ya. Oke. Kita lihat lagi di bawahnya. So there are two positive and negative statement ya, phrases about suggestion. Ada yang mau coba yang positif?
Me.
Siapa? Ya, Cindy. Oke, please. Cindy yang mana dulu? Cindy, halo. Boleh juga. Oke, please.
Yes, I will try. For positive,
Okay.
the one is a great good idea.
Okay.
And then, yeah, sure.
Yes, sure. Okay.
And then, good plan.
Good plan.
And
Okay.
then, okay, no problem.
Okay.
And then, a great good idea.
Okay. Okay, so the rest will be negative ya?
Maybe. Yes, maybe.
Let's try. Okay, finish. Okay, we'll see ya. Oke, bener. Correct. Oke, complete. Hebat semua. Thank you very much ya. Betul semuanya. Oke. So actually we can use an online learning just like British Council, British Council link. I will give the link in chat box. And now we'll have Eddie to share about Eddie's story. A short story about himself, whether he likes to join, how can he join Learning Center in Chiape. Please, Eddie, it's now your turn.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Eddie. I'm 16 years old and I come from Rajampa. Hobbies, going adventure, and I really like explore new place, and I really like explore new places. I like adventurous sport such as diving, wakeboarding, and spearfishing. I like diving because I want to explore the underwater world. So now I know that I have to protect the nature in Rajampat. My favorite place is Wayak.
Yeah.
I like studying in the learning center because there are many opportunities to learn and have new knowledge. All the lesson in learning center make sense and interesting. In learning center there is more practice and than theory. We study anytime, not just at school time. And I want to develop myself more in in education side. My favorite thing that I like is documentary night. And documentary night is an activity that I like best because besides studying from the books, I also know the lesson from the documentary night. My dream is able to travel the world and become a professor who will build Rajampat even better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Maybe we give appreciation by clapping virtual hands, yeah, by doing like that. Okay, before we start with question and answer, I will give you a break around 1 and 2 minutes. Yeah, you can go to toilet, you can minum dulu or doing something, tapi jangan pergi ke pasar ya, terlalu lama ya. Baik. But before we start, I will show you this picture. I don't know who is this. Maybe Jonas will explain to us. Is this Eddie?
No, he's my friend.
Okay, I see that.
His name is Arnold, and he's also the worker from Learning Center.
Oh, so this is Arnold, yeah, I see that. This is from Learning Center picture, yeah, Instagram, yeah. This is yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Teman-teman, 1 menit istirahat sebelum we have a discussion and question and answer. Please ask everything, or if you want to share something, please. 1 minute, only 1 minute, yeah. You can also ask Jonas, yeah, why Jonas built a learning center and also foundation in a remote island, and you can ask everything. Kalau tidak bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia juga tidak apa-apa, pokoknya campur-campur, yang penting kita berani saja. And because of Learning Center is built in maybe around 2 years, and you can see by yourself that, you know, teenager, even from the remote island, could speak English very well within only 2 years learning English. How long we study English at school? 6 years maybe? Tidak bisa juga ya. Ini kita belajar. Ada buktinya 2 tahun belajar sudah bisa. Berarti ada yang salah dengan metodenya ya. Okay, we are going to wait for ADN. Okay, I will open the discussion. If you guys have questions for Eddie or for Jonas or for Milando, please, you can do that by chat, or you can raise hands and ask directly to them, yeah, please. Is there any questions? Pakai bahasa Indonesia juga apa-apa. Silakan bertanya kalau mau bertanya. Siapa? Ada yang mau bertanya? Boleh?
Me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Dwi?
Yeah, maybe I have a question for Jonas first. Like why did you start? Why did you decide to do what you do now? Like, what's the reason of you doing the work?
Okay, thank you very much, Dwi. Jonas, please, Jonas. You can directly answer that.
Well, the main reason is because, yes, so obviously in these remote places around here, the education is very bad. And it is, I think it's very important to give opportunities to the children also from remote places to increase their education, and especially unique places like Raja Ampat. They need to have people, good educated people, in order to be able to take care of the nature and protect the nature in the future. So these are the 2 main reasons.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonas. Jonas is originally from Switzerland, yeah. So, as you know, Switzerland, everyone dream to go there, but Jonas is different, yeah.
He loves Indonesia. He loves Raja Ampat.
Jonas able to speak in bahasa, ya, local bahasa, ya. So, if kalau datang ke kampung, Jonas able to speak in local language, ya. I cannot do that. Oke, ada lagi pertanyaan?
Izin kakak saya, Kak.
Ya, please, Pak. Silakan, Pak Guru.
Karena saya tidak terlalu lancar berbahasa Inggris, jadi biar pakai bahasa Indonesia saja.
Tidak apa-apa, tidak apa-apa.
Hanya mau tanya di Pak Jonas saja. Ini kira-kira untuk bisa masuk ke sekolah itu bagaimana caranya? Gratis tidak? Atau hanya khusus anak-anak Raja Ampat, atau di luar Raja Ampat juga bisa masuk? Terima kasih.
Sama-sama. Pak Jonas, sekolahnya dibuka untuk umum tidak? Saya mau daftar ini.
Jadi sebenarnya kita masih baru mulai saja ya. Kalau ada semua sudah ada diizin dari PKBM segala macam, tapi kita punya infrastruktur itu terbatas. Jadi juga murid-murid yang kita bisa terima di sini itu pasti terbatas karena kita kita sangat fokus untuk kualitas bukan untuk kuantitas. Jadi sebenarnya dia punya sistem itu anak-anak mulai dulu dari SD, ikut kelas SD di sini dulu, baru yang kita lihat siapa yang mampu dan siapa punya orang tua juga cukup tanggung jawab, bisa ikut dengan sekolah SMP lagi, bisa lanjut SMP, baru nanti bisa lanjut sampai SMK. Tapi juga kita sebenarnya ada rencana di masa depan untuk buka daftaran untuk anak-anak dari kampung lain. Jadi sebenarnya juga kita baru mau bikin cabang lagi di Baisai, siapa tahu di masa depan mau bikin cabang lagi di Sorong. Sebenarnya tahun ini sudah rencana begitu, cuma ya corona yang bikin sampai dari bulan Maret sampai hari ini tidak pernah lihat kota lagi. Jadi itu sebenarnya sementara ditunda saja. Tapi pasti yang kita fokus itu untuk anak-anak paling bagus ya sudah ikut dari awal. Karena pengalaman itu memang sangat susah kalau mungkin sudah menjadi remaja baru mau mulai belajar, kita punya pengalaman itu pasti lebih susah untuk murid.
Ya, terima kasih. Kalau bisa mungkin buka di Kupang juga bisa Kak?
Buka di Kupang nih Jonas ya, ada tawaran ya.
Ya itu lagi, mungkin di masa depan kita bangun di banyak tempat.
Ya, teman-teman, jadi learning center dari Kakak Jonas ini adalah sekolah non formal ya, atau pusat kegiatan belajar masyarakat. Nah, 2 murid yang sudah ikut adalah Edi dan Milando. Yang sekolah berarti non formal school ya. So if they want to get the certificate or ijazah, they will ujian penyetaraan. Because of in Raja Ampat or in remote island just like in Sawikap, Sawingra and Kapisawar, there are no junior high school and senior high school, right, Jonas? Tidak ada SMP dan SMA ya?
Iya, belum ada benar.
So that's why, so that's why Jonas said that they open learning center for elementary school, anak-anak SD sekolah belajar di learning center. Then they will choose, or because of their parents support the learning center, they will pick, they will open that for several students to join the PKBM tadi ya. Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi? Pokoknya campur-campur terapa-apa teman-teman, hajar.
Oh, Kak Dayu, I have question.
Ya, please. Ya, please. Ya, silakan. Halo.
Halo.
Ya, silakan.
Aku ya, Kak.
Silakan, siapa yang?
Okay.
Ya.
Thank you. Thank you. I have question for Jonas. I'm interested in your program. So my question is, can you give us some idea or describe what you are doing there to make a better education? Because I also teach in remote area. Maybe there's something I can adapt to the school children in my place. Because we also make a learning center with Kak Yulianti Konjol. So I interested to. Okay, I think it's my question, Kak. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What you did with the learning center and your initiative, Jonas, maybe you can share to Ruth, yeah?
So my experience is, of course, the most important thing is that the children find a good place and they have fun, so they can understand that education actually is something that makes fun, which is obviously way different what they learn in their normal school. But for us here, it's the most important part. When they come to the school here, they start to have fun, they start to love the place. But of course, also they need to learn about. It's always the right balance between fun and discipline. And beside that, I think it's very important that if there is a learning center, somebody really needs to take care about that place all the time. It does not work if you just build a place and you put just books in this place. It will not work. You need to have a person there, or in the best case, even more than one person who is actually there and who is motivating the children, who is doing things together with them and give them appreciation for what they do and what they did and how they develop, how they progress. So I think it's very important, first of all, to have a nice place, a good place, and make the children very comfortable to come there, but then also how to find the right person to stay there and to encourage the children every day again to study and to progress.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonas. Yeah, and I hope that that's answered the question from Ruth. Yeah. Okay, the next question will be from Om Yoga, please, Om Yoga. Om Yoga. Ya, silakan.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Did I must speak English or I just campur-campur?
It's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah.
Okay. The first I want to ask about how the method from your school to engage the student there, and the second is what goals do you want to achieve for the children, and the third is how about the subculture, or did the kids have a subculture because they must learn about the English, then learn about the lifestyle there with all the tourism from the outside area. Thank you. Halo Kak Ida.
Thank you, Jonas. This is a very difficult question. Ya, there are 3 questions from Om Yoga. Wah, ini pelanggaran ya. Harusnya 1 aja. Okay, the question is about method, and the second is what's your goal, and the third is about did the children get the culture shock because of meeting maybe a foreigner and also other things.
So yes, first of all, regarding the method here is it's obviously different about the method of what we teach and also who we teach. So obviously the method on how we teach the Eddie and Melando in senior high school is very different to the method how we teach the elementary kids, because the method for the elementary kids, it's way more playful. It's with a lot of songs, with a lot of games. And this is for the small ones, but then when they become older, obviously it gets more into a structured way of teaching, but then the method is always very important. Everything that what we teach is always related to what is very important for them. So we always make sure that they can apply what they learn in the classroom, so they can go out to their real life and they can always apply what they learned in the lesson. So if there was always be a very close connection between the theory and the practice. I think this is actually one of the key elements in the method to have success. Regarding the second question about the goal, so basically, I think one of our long-term goal is to achieve that, to increase the level of education in this region, and maybe one day there is Eddie and Melando, for example, now they can have an important role in conservation, or maybe even in the government of Raja Ampat, and develop this place into a good direction for both the humans, I mean the society of Raja Ampat, the people of Raja Ampat, as well as the nature. We know that Raja Ampat is one of the last paradises on earth, one of the most important places on earth in terms of ecosystem. This place can be destroyed easily in the next few years if there is not the right rules and not the right way of politics in place. So maybe they can be future leaders of the region with having a good what do you call a rucksack of experience, of good pengalaman with them. And now I forgot about the third question.
The third question is about shock culture. Did children face the shock culture?
I mean, maybe this question is better not ask me, but ask.
But yeah, Eddie and Melando ya. It's better to ask Melando and Eddie ya, Kak Om Yoga ya. Melando, Eddie mengalami. Yeah, please, Jonas, maybe you can guide them. Mengalami.
Mungkin.
Ya, gimana Om?
mungkin lebih sederhana, apakah mengalami sesuatu yang berbeda dari kebudayaan mereka seperti itu. Karena I have a experience at Opanggen school that at
Bokondini, ya?
Opanggen dan di Bokondini that the kids mereka mengalami percampuran budaya yang tidak terarah dalam kehidupan karena ada beberapa forager or missionaries there, then they like not ready for modernisasi like that.
Okay. How about in Raja Ampat and especially in Learning Center? Yeah, maybe Eddie or Milando can answer that, whether they feel that or not. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Milando, please.
Di sini juga dulu masyarakat masih hidup dengan budaya masing-masing, tapi karena sudah banyak tamu-tamu yang datang dan banyak orang-orang dari luar, jadi budaya-budaya itu hampir mau hilang. Sampai kegiatan-kegiatan seperti tarian sudah tidak dibudayakan lagi. Lagu-lagu tradisional juga tidak dinyanyikan lagi.
Edi, ada tambahan?
Tambahan dari Edi.
Edi?
Contoh, dari dulu ada beberapa tarian tradisional yang sampai sekarang tidak pernah dilakukan lagi. Karena kebanyakan pengaruh media sosial. Yang telah membuat anak-anak pengaruh dan tidak peduli terhadap budaya.
Ya, terima kasih banyak Edi dan Milando ya menjawab pertanyaan. Mungkin Jonas mau beri tambahan, if you want to add something, please.
Ya, jadi kalau mungkin memang satu hal yang saya juga lihat di sini, seperti mereka punya bahasa daerah juga mau hilang. Kalau memang dari orang tua, pasti dulu cuma pakai bahasa daerah, tapi kalau sekarang kita lihat anak-anak kecil sudah banyak yang tidak lancar lagi. Kalau contoh Edi masih lancar dengan bahasa daerah, tapi banyak anak-anak lain-lain itu sudah tidak terlalu mengerti lagi, mungkin ya pasti cukup satu generasi ini baru dia punya bahasa bisa hilang. Nah, untuk hal ini kita juga ada bikin permainan, kadang-kadang kita mengajar sesuatu langsung dari bahasa Inggris ke bahasa daerah langsung, tidak lewat bahasa Indonesia lagi. Untuk macam contoh, untuk tahu nama-nama ikan atau hal-hal lain yang ada di kampung, untuk anak-anak juga masih bisa tahu mereka punya bahasa daerah yang saya rasa sangat penting.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Om Jonas ya, Om Yoga, semoga terjawab. Adik-adik, terima kasih banyak for answering the questions. We will move to next question from Dwi ya. Please Dwi.
Makasih Kak Dayu, saya pakai bahasa Indonesia saja ya.
Tidak apa-apa.
Ini buat Edi sama siapa Milando.
Ya.
Jadi mau tanya, maksudnya sebelum gabung sama setelah gabung ke tempat belajarnya Kak Jonas tuh apa yang dirasakan gitu? Maksudnya mungkin dari keterampilan atau dari pengetahuan. Terus kira-kira tuh metode seperti yang diajarkan tuh bagus atau maksudnya efektif buat teman-teman lain gitu. Maksudnya Edi sama Milando tuh
rasanya bagaimana ya?
Kira-kira pengen kayak begitu untuk teman-teman lain kan tidak begitu metode yang dipakai. Mungkin begitu sih buat Edi sama Milando ya.
Edi dan Milando bagaimana
boleh,
tadi?
Jawabnya boleh pakai bahasa Inggris.
Oh, jawabnya bebas, mau pakai bahasa Inggris. Pakai bahasa di pulau juga boleh.
Boleh, nanti Kak Dayu kasih subtitle gitu terjemahan.
Nanti Jonas yang kasih subtitle, saya tidak.
Iya, boleh.
Kamu bisa kasih lihat kolegmu teman lain apa yang beda dari sekolah biasa di sini.
Iya, silakan. Bisa di bahasa Inggris campur-campur, bahasa Indonesia juga boleh.
Kalau sekolah ini itu guru-guru disiplin, sangat disiplin sekali. Terus ini biasa kita juga langsung praktek di lapangan. Daripada biasa kan sekolah-sekolah lain biasa ada yang praktek, tapi kadang ada sekolah yang juga yang tidak pernah praktek. Jadi perbedaan sekolah ini, menurut saya perbedaan sekolah ini dengan sekolah biasa, sekolah negeri dengan sekolah IPK memang sangat beda jauh karena cara mengajar beda, cara disiplin beda, apalagi terutama disiplin dalam waktu, karena waktu pengalaman saya SMP hujan guru tidak datang, panas guru tidak datang, apalagi badai tidak pernah. Jadi kalau di sini tuh guru segala cuaca, musim salju juga tetap ada guru, guru sangat disiplin.
Baik, terima kasih banyak. Jadi singkat kata Milano dan Edi merasa ini ya ada tambah apa ini banyak hal bagus lah, termasuk disiplin ya. Ada tambahan mungkin Jonas? Tidak ada? Ada tambahan?
Ya, saya rasa yang paling bagus untuk bisa kasih nilai untuk sekolah ya pasti hanya murid. Jadi seperti Melando dengan Edi rasa dan bisa bandingkan sekolah ini dengan sekolah-sekolah lain yang ya saya rasa mereka yang bisa bandingkan karena mereka punya pengalaman selama 9 tahun di sekolah lain. Kalau sekarang berapa bulan di sekolah di sini memang mereka rasa dia punya perbedaan jauh dan mungkin juga sekali-sekali rasa beban dan berat, tapi pasti nanti dari belakang dia punya hasil itu luar biasa.
Baik, terima kasih banyak Jonas. Ya, please, Ola. More question for Edi and Milando. Ola.
Hai Edi. Bisa kedengaran Kak Kakak?
Bisa.
Ya. Hai Edi dan Milando, salam kenal. Ini dengan Karit. Kakak pakai bahasa Indonesia saja. Atau bagaimana? Kamu prefer to use English or Indonesia?
Saja.
Kakak mix sudah?
Ya, boleh mix saja, tidak apa-apa.
Iya, kakak percaya sekali kalau kita learning other language, it must be difficult at first. Pertama tuh pasti susah sekali. Apa sih kira-kira yang trigger kalian berdua gitu untuk keep on learning? Kakak penasaran sekali karena kalau kita belajar bahasa lain itu pertama-tama tuh semangat, tapi ke belakang tuh sudah menurun. Tapi ini kakak kepo, apa yang buat kalian berdua masih keep learning, keep practicing? Apa sebenarnya yang bikin kalian berdua ini mau untuk belajar lagi? Bisa didapat, Dek.
Oke, silakan. Edi atau Milando boleh.
Semangat dari saya untuk belajar bahasa Inggris itu sangat besar karena bahasa Inggris sangat penting seluruh dunia untuk bisa bergaul, banyak teman, dan di mana-mana pasti tidak merasa susah dalam berbahasa Inggris jika bergabung dengan orang dari luar negara. Karena bahasa Inggris adalah satu bahasa yang dipakai seluruh dunia untuk bercakapan sehari-hari dengan orang lain. Jadi bahasa Inggris memang sangat penting akhirnya, karena itu saya tidak pernah mengeluh untuk belajar bahasa Inggris. Kalau yang lain mungkin saya merasa bosan, tapi bahasa Inggris saya tidak merasa bosan untuk belajar.
Wow. Dek, kakak tanya satu lagi ya, kakak penasaran juga ini. Selain Ade belajar di tempat yang disediakan, nanti sampai di rumah Ade belajar juga kan tidak? Atau Ade belajar di situ saja? Di apa namanya tadi
Learning Center.
Learning Center.
Learning Center, ya.
Kalau Learning Center juga itu sekolah dan sebagai asrama bagi kita dengan Edi. Jadi karena dia punya rumah begitu kayak begitu.
Ya.
Terima kasih banyak.
Di Learning Center ada lantai 2 library-nya. Ya, biasanya teman-teman ini juga tidur di atas ya. Jadi saya juga pernah nginap sama-sama di atas. Jadi sudah seperti rumah ya buat teman-teman ini. Jadi sekolah, rumah, belajar gitu. Kalau yang saya lihat ya. Oke, selanjutnya kepada Kak Irma, boleh? Kak Irma, if you have a questions, please.
Hello, my name is Irma Ahmad. I have question. This question is for Eddie and Milando.
Okay.
How long can you speak fluent English? So that's it.
Okay. How long does it take? Both of you can speak English just like this. Berapa lama Eddie and Milando?
Me and Milando was study around around 3 years until we know the English language.
So it's around 3 years, yeah, learning English and able to communication using English. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
3 tahun saja teman-teman belajar. Ya, masih remaja lagi ya. Kita ini sudah ini tapi masih Ada lagi? Silakan. Oke, Miss Yuli. Miss Yuli, please.
Okay, thank you for the time for me.
Yeah, please, Miss Yuli.
Okay, student. Okay, my question for Jonas. How many students already get your certificate of your learning center? And the second question is, if they already study on your learning center, they beg to help you to be a teacher or they continue to study at formal school? Thank you.
Yeah, please, Kakak Jonas.
Yeah, so we just started this place and we have the permit for the PKWM just since this year. So that means Eddie and Melando will be the first students gonna be graduated from Child Aid Papua. We have around 30 students in elementary school. Next year, we're gonna have another 5 or 6 in junior high school, and we have Eddie and Melando in senior high school. Already now, even though Eddie and Melando are still going to school, they already back up us in classes sometimes. So usually on Friday evening, they help out in environmental class. So actually, Eddie and Melando are teaching their own friends or younger brothers and sisters here in the village about the importance of the environment. And also already sometimes they help out with teaching English, even though they still go to school by themselves.
Wow, cool. So they are assistant teacher, yeah?
Milando, teacher.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Miss Yuli, thank you very much, yeah. Okay. Now we have Kak Ida, please, Kak Ida.
Okay, thank you, Kak Dayu. I wanna ask to Kak Jonas. Actually, I'm just curious about how long the student will take the learning process until they graduate from the school. And the second question is there any girl in your school as your student? And the last question is, how about the parents' response about this program? Because as we know, in Papua, mostly parents, about their, what will they be at the future? I mean, because mostly Papuan think that yeah, about their job for the future. I think like that. Thank you.
Yeah, there are two questions, yeah, Jonas, yeah.
Yes, I didn't understand the first question. Sorry.
Okay, the first question is like, how long they will graduate from the school, yeah? So whether it's like a formal school or so 3 years or more than that.
Okay, so yeah, basically we follow the same, the official curriculum from the Educational Department of Indonesia. So that means for now senior high school, it will also be 3 years, as well as for junior high school, it's gonna be 3 years. But of course, on the other hand side, basically we are flexible as long as they are able to pass the test, and so we mainly work on what is super important for them or what is important for them. But I'm sure it will take for sure around 2 to 3 years. Yes. Second question about the girls. Yes, actually now there are more girls in our school than boys. For example, the next year junior high school will start with 4 girls and 2 boys, and also in elementary school we have nowadays 60 or 70% girls and just 30 or 40% boys. To your question regarding the support of the parents, of course it's very different, yeah. But of course, and this has an effect to the students, yeah. So there is also a reason why AD and Melando are really able to join the school here, even though the high school, because their parents, of course, they support it. I would say we have 80 to 90% of all the parents around here really supporting everything what we do. Of course, everywhere you will always have maybe 1 or 2 family not supporting it, but then that's up to them. And obviously school is just a place, it is just an opportunity, and nobody has to come, it's just an opportunity. And these are things we always explain and explain again to the masyarakat and to the government, the village government, etc., etc. But basically the response of the families is to 80 to 90% is very positive.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonas. Teman-teman, sorry to change that into Indonesia. Di Indonesia, sistem pendidikan kita secara formal ada 3 ya, yang namanya sekolah formal, sekolah non formal, dan sekolah informal. Sekolah formal itu yang seperti kita lihat, ada SD, SMP, SMA. Sekolah non formal itu ada yang kejar paket ABC, bentuknya PKBM, Pusat Kegiatan Belajar Mengajar Masyarakat. Dalam kasusnya Jonas and Child Aid Papua, they using that. Dan yang ketiga ada yang namanya sekolah informal atau homeschooling. Jadi orang tua ngajar ke anak sendiri pakai kurikulum terserah mereka. Kalau mau dapat ijazah, ujiannya ujian penyetaraan. Boleh cari kerja, boleh kuliah, boleh. Gitu ya teman-teman ya. And I think that's a brilliant idea because in Raja Ampat, most students need to come to Waisai to continue high school. Kalau di kampung-kampung hujan sedikit, guru tidak ada. Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi? Mungkin ada Kak Vera. Silakan
Ada
Kak.
saya.
Ya, ini pertanyaan terakhir ya. Pertanyaannya banyak sekali ya.
Saya Mas Dayu.
Oke. Silakan Kak Vera dulu ya.
Oh ya, oke.
Selamat pagi. So my name is Veronica Molina Punjul. So I have a question for Jonas. What makes you realize and come here to help the kids?
Okay, that's a very clear questions. Why you come to that island and build what you did?
So basically comes back to the very first question at the beginning, when I see the level of education obviously is very bad around this region. And it's just something I'm really keen to develop and to work on. Why I actually ended up exactly in Sawing Raya and Kapsawar is because from the past already I thought that the children here, they were very keen, and then it was the head of the village who asked me if I would be able to start to teach English. So we just built a very small primitive flat And we started just to do some English there, and then slowly but surely everything developed and become bigger. And now we built like a proper education center, and we have now the yayasan and the PKBM. So everything just developed within the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay, thank you very much, Kakak Jonas. Selanjutnya ya.
Saya Mas.
Oke, Sukma, please. Ini lari sekali ya, teman-teman capek ya. Tidak diizinkan minum dulu. Minum dulu. Oke, Kakak Sukma.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Sukma. This is first time for me to join the class. So I want to ask to Jonas. Tell me what's your motivation for the children in Raja Ampat Places to join this class. Thank you.
Okay, Kakak Jonas. Maybe I think that it's quite same, yeah. Okay, Kakak Jonas, please. What?
Sorry,
Hello.
the connection is very bad. Please, can you repeat this?
Okay. Tell me what's your motivation for the children in Raja Ampat Places to join the class.
You mean how I motivate the children to join the class?
Sorry?
Do you mean how we can motivate the children to join the class,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
about my motivation?
Yep.
Yeah, how you motivate them to join the class, because of they said that you are very disciplined, just like.
Yeah, basically it is always to find the right balance, right? We do a lot of funny things, a lot of funny games. We sing a lot of songs together, and we have a nice place that obviously makes the children very comfortable to come and join the place here. But maybe this can be again a question. We can just ask back to Eddie and Melando. Why did they actually from the beginning? Why were they motivated to join the class? I don't know. We can ask them. What made you motivated many years ago to join?
Why you still learning in learning center and then choose to continue study with Kakak Jonas? Why? Eddie and Milando, why?
Because many games we play with in English language, like word, straight.
Using games ya, jadi dengan permainan-permainan menarik ya, Milando ya. How about Eddie?
My motivation is it's easy for all the people here to join with the guy like Jonas from the other place. So it is the chance for me to join with them, and because how they teach us is really easy and make funny, and I really like it.
Okay, thank you very much, Eddie. Eddie likes to meet new people, and in Jonas Place there are a lot of new people. Oke, ini pertanyaan terakhir ya teman-teman. Boleh, Ruth dulu, silakan.
Oke Kak Dayu, makasih banyak. Saya mau tanya ke Kak Jonas.
Ya.
Ini pakai bahasa Indonesia ya.
Ya, silakan.
Karena agak personal gitu kan. Sebelumnya saya baru tahu Kak Jonas ini ya di kelas ini. Awalnya saya pikir Kak Jonas tuh orang Raja Ampat atau orang mana gitu kan. Ternyata wow gitu. Saya sampai kayak speechless gitu kan. Kak Jonas mau di situ ngajari anak-anak gitu. Saya mau tahu hal-hal atau nilai-nilai spiritual apa yang kakak punya gitu kan, bagikan ke kita gitu kan. Kenapa kakak rela gitu? Karena saya juga mengajar di pedalaman. Saya mengalami up and down gitu kan. Karena kayak ini aja budaya aja berbeda, kadang ada halangan gitu kan Kak.
Baik.
Jadi itu yang saya ini ke Kak Jonas, bisa jawabnya pakai bahasa Indonesia aja Kak, soalnya nih agak mendalam gitu.
Oke, ini
Hal-hal nilai-nilai
ya.
spiritual yang bisa dibagikan dengan kami sesama yang memotivasi kami juga yang jadi guru-guru di pedalaman gitu. Terima kasih.
Kakak Jonas silakan pakai bahasa Indonesia tidak apa-apa. Apa nilai-nilai yang bikin Kakak Jonas stay di sana? Kan kayak saya di sana 3 hari bingung ya. Lihat laut ya, saya bingung ini laut mau diapakan. Kalau Kakak Jonas lihat laut tiap hari tidak apa-apa. Kalau saya 3 hari saya bingung nanti. Oke, Kakak Jonas.
Iya, kalau yang bikin saya bingung kalau saya dengar bunyi-bunyi motor kiri kanan setiap hari. Jadi lebih bagus saya dengar laut. Jadi ya memang kalau dari awal ya tidak mungkin gampang lah karena memang kayak hidup sehari-hari sangat beda ya, sudah beda dari mau bandingkan saja dari Jawa ke sini, mau bandingkan dari Sorong ke sini, apalagi dari Swiss ke sini. Jadi sangat beda jauh, tetapi kalau kita juga lihat bagaimana caranya hidup masyarakat Raja Ampat, untuk saya cukup menarik dan orang-orang itu dan dia punya tempat di situ bikin sangat ya menarik dan mempesona. Dan saya pikir kita harus belajar berani untuk memperkenalkan dengan budaya-budaya yang kita tidak dikenalkan, yang kita tidak biasa dari awal, mungkin harus push diri sendiri keluar comfort zone untuk dapat hal-hal yang baru yang nanti dari akhirnya lebih luar biasa. Memang kita tidak boleh gampang menyerah dan memang prosesnya untuk mengajar cukup sulit. Karena saya juga pikir ya tidak mungkin bisa juga orang banyak tanya ya saya menjadi guru saya bisa datang mengajar di situ selama 2-3 bulan. Kalau itu percuma karena selama 2-3 bulan ya kita harus beradaptasi ke tempat dulu, kita harus kenal-kenal budaya yang ada di sini, kita harus sosialisasi, kita harus mengerti anak-anak punya cara belajar dan kemampuan belajar itu seperti bagaimana. Jadi kalau memang ada yang serius untuk mau mengajar di daerah seperti di sini ya harus punya komitmen yang kuat untuk tidak boleh menyerah selama beberapa bulan saja baru ada kesulitan baru menyerah tapi berjuang terus. Kalau ya saya kena sulitan juga terus di sini tapi saya tidak menyerah, saya tidak mau menyerah dan bisa berjuang akhirnya hari ini ya saya rasa sangat luar biasa bisa hidup seperti begini, kita banyak hal-hal bisa bagi kepada masyarakat, kepada anak-anak yang ada di sini. Dan saya pikir satu kesempatan besar sekali, satu peluang besar sekali untuk anak-anak di sini bisa lewat yayasan, bisa lewat sekolah di sini untuk langsung dapat misalnya mahasiswa ke luar negara, bisa dapat praktik atau kerja ke luar negara. Jadi akhirnya dari awal memang ada banyak hal-hal yang sangat sulit, tapi akhirnya saya pikir kita bisa bangun sesuatu yang lebih luar biasa.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Kakak Jonas ya. Oke, selanjutnya dari Vera, sebelum terakhir ke Yuli ya, biar kita nanti kalau mau bertanya lagi langsung japri saja lewat Instagram.
Saya ada pertanyaan untuk Edi sama temannya. Can you tell me from the beginning how you guys join or how do you guys know the school?
Maybe Vera, you can repeat that question again.
Yeah, sure. Can you tell me from the beginning how you guys join or know the school?
Yeah. How you guys know the school? Or because the island is very small, so there are new places. Everyone must know about the places. Yeah.
Bagaimana lakukan sekolah begini padahal di sini you can tell it's just a small village.
It's just a small village, so it's easy to join this school. And yeah, it's easy like because this is just small village, not like in the city that we have to look for a real school like good school, but this is just small village, so the school is beside this village. So it's
Eddie, maybe you can tell us how many people live there.
you mean in village or in this?
in village, so we can have imagination about the big how big the village, yeah, how many people around, how many, yeah, 100 orang,
around 300 people.
So it's about 300 people ya teman-teman, so it's a very small, very tiny island ya. Dan sebelum itu Jonas bikin sebuah kelas belajar kecil di pinggir pantai. Saya pernah lihat juga, itu kecil sekali. Dan setelah itu mereka bikinnya agak besar. Jadi karena kecil saja, jadi pasti semua orang tahu. Kalau ada kegiatan itu mudah sekali. Begitu ya teman-teman. Oke, pertanyaan terakhir terima kasih banyak Vera. Terakhir ke Miss Yuli.
Yeah. Okay, my last question is, Jonas, are you a teacher before in your country, or you visit in Raja Ampat and be a teacher?
Okay, Jonas, please reveal that. The moment of truth, yeah, are you a teacher or?
No, luckily I'm not an educated teacher from a Swiss point of view. I studied economics. And I worked as a chief financial officer for a big company before I came to Raja Ampat. But I always worked with youth, with children and teenagers. I was a coach in volleyball, so I had a lot of experience how to motivate and how to deal with children and teenagers. But basically, I think it's if you're able to teach or not, it's not about a certificate. Yeah, it's something that actually you can or you cannot. Of course, many things can be learned, but you need to have the right passion to be a teacher. I think especially around here, what I often see, many people are teachers, but actually they do not even care about the children's education, right? This is not what a teacher is supposed to be like. Actually, everybody in my family is a teacher. My father is a teacher. My brother is a teacher. And yeah, finally, and I'm also a teacher, just at the other side of the world.
You are Papua teacher.
Okay.
Okay, Jonas. And so.
Ya, please, Miss Yuli.
Pertanyaan terakhir.
Ya.
Ini kan corona ya. Corona jadi kegiatan belajar masih berlanjut atau istirahat kayak di kota sini?
Kalau kita orang di kampung di sini seperti tadi dijelaskan ya, kampung itu sangat kecil, jadi sudah sangat jelas semua orang itu bergabung saja. Orang bergabung untuk main bola, orang bergabung untuk bermain sama-sama di kampung, orang bergabung untuk ibadah segala macam. Jadi kita punya sekolah waktu pemerintah dikasih izinkan bulan Juli kalau tidak salah, juga sudah jalan lagi dengan biasa.
Tidak ada corona.
Di kampung ini cukup steril lah, cukup aman dari corona. Tapi kita tetap harus hati-hati teman-teman. Oke teman-teman, terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much ya. For asking many questions to Jonas, Eddie, and Milando. Can we give applause and appreciation for them? Yeah, already share a lot of things about Child Aid Papua and Learning Center. Thank you very much, Jonas, Eddie, and Milando.
Thank you as well. Thank you very much.
Ya, before we selesaikan pertemuan ini, Jonas ini menginspirasi karena sosok guru ya. Nah, I want to share about the view of a teacher ya, using this video. I hope that you guys can enjoy the sharing and the presentation ya. Terlihat teman-teman? Terlihat ya?
Ya, terlihat.
Ya.
Terlihat.
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class. Because I am the best teacher and you are the best students, they put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so, I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad. 4 years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection, it's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone. Still try to find out how to stop share, yeah? Okay, sorry. I hope that you guys can learn something from Rita Person. Yeah, that's from TEDx. TEDx is a very good site to learn something new, yeah? It's about teacher, yeah? I quote several things, just like kids don't learn from people they don't like. And the second is about seek first to understand before to be understood. This is from Stephen Covey, if you know about 7 Habits. Yeah. And I hope that you guys enjoy the meeting, today meeting, yeah. Before we end the conversation, the discussion, boleh nggak kita foto bersama? Boleh ya? Boleh dinyalakan videonya? Oke, ini biar kelihatan ganteng dan cantiknya semuanya ya. Ah, mantap. Oke. Terima kasih banyak. Teman-teman. 1, 2, 3. Oke, saya cek dulu ya. Siapa tahu nanti ada yang tutup mata lagi. Bahaya ini. Oke, satu kali lagi boleh. Gayanya boleh gaya bebas yang ganteng-ganteng dan cantik-cantik. Terima kasih banyak sudah bergabung ya. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Oke. Oke, terima kasih teman-teman. Bagus sekali teman-teman. Terima kasih banyak teman-teman. Kakak Jonas, Edi dan Milando, terima kasih sudah bergabung teman-teman. Bisa dinyalakan saja speakernya, boleh saling mengucapkan terima kasih sebelum boleh teman-teman leave the room ya.
Ya, terima kasih.
Thank you,
Terima
Kak
kasih, Kak
Jonas.
Terima kasih,
Thank you, Kak
semangat
Dayu.
terus belajarnya. Terima kasih, Kak Dayu.
Makasih banyak.
Makasih.
Sama-sama. Silakan teman-teman, kalau mau keluar boleh, kalau masih mau cerita-cerita dan Kakak Jonas boleh, kalau mau follow Instagramnya boleh ya.
Kak Ida, gimana kabar?
Wah, kabar baik Kak
Kak
Yoga.
Jonas.
Yo Kakak silakan.
Halo Kak Jonas.
Di Surabaya nih Kak.
Kalimantan.
Mister.
Halo Kak Jonas.
Kakak Jonas, itu ada yang nanya itu mau ikut ke Raja Ampat ya. Kakak Soter, aduh Kakak Soter belum ada suaranya, kita mau dengar ini.
Halo Kak Jonas.
Kakak Soter, Kakak Soter di mana?
Di Sorong.
Oh di Sorong, berarti kita satu kota, nih mantap. Ada Kakak Soter, ada Kakak Irma, ya silahkan.
Halo Kak Jonas. Kalau Irma di Jerman.
Bagaimana?
Kak Irma di Jerman, Kak Yani.
Oh Kak Irma di Jerman. Wah luar biasa. Wah ini.
Halo Kak Jonas.
Ya silakan. Ama Wila, silakan mau tanya apa ke Kakak Jonas? Ini masih ada 5 menit sebelum kita tutup.
Tidak, cuma say halo saja. Mungkin ada waktu atau kesempatan bisa datang main-main ke Kupang, NTT.
Ya, siapa tahu ada nanti waktu di kapan-kapan baru main-main ke sana dulu.
Ya, siap. Tempat wisata di NTT juga bagus-bagus, Pak Jonas.
Ya, pasti juga.
Ya teman-teman, kalau mau live, ya boleh. Siapa yang tadi minta izin? Ya, silakan yang mau minta izin live boleh. Kakak Jonas kalau mau live boleh. Terima kasih banyak sudah berkenan sharing. Mohon maaf ini pertanyaannya banyak-banyak ya teman-teman. Ada 2, semangat. Pokoknya
Oke,
semangat.
baik, terima kasih banyak Kak Dayu.
Kakak Jonas, terima kasih banyak ya sudah berkenan